Oh my gosh, we fixed it. Whew. I got this machine in. Hold on, I'm picking something up. I got this goddamn machine in. And it was in rough shape, man. This was binding so hard and grinding. It sounded fucking painful, like loud. And it would get caught and it would get stuck because it was grinding so hard. So that was the first fix. Second fix was the drawband, which I want to turn it around, but I'm trying not to scratch my desk too much. This guy down here, the rope or string that attaches over here that actually pulls this guy, disconnected and wound around so many times there, it took me a long time to get that done. So those are the two major problems. That didn't work, and it was grinding really hard as well. Okay, well, with the grinding, there was two fixes. One, the body and the bushings that hold it down a little bit so it doesn't get stuck, which makes this rub where that machine works. Okay, that was easy. I saw an online service offer this idea. They're like, hey, use the fucking fuel line to create a bushing, because there are no goddamn bushings that I could find that would work good enough. So that fixed that problem, but then it was still grinding. That was, listen how smooth that was. Man. See that thing right in the middle there? The two screws holding it? That thing needed to be adjusted. And it was slightly bent, so I fucked with it, and kept adjusting, and it was just a nightmare. And then finally I took the damn thing out, looked at it, and luckily I have this tool here, which is used for like straightening teeth of a saw. Was able to straighten that metal bar. I put it back in, put it on, adjusted it slightly, and now it's fine. So I got this machine really cheap, really cheap, because of the problems that it had. And now that I was able to fix it, I got myself an SM3 or 4, one of them, an Olympia, for super fucking cheap. And all it needs is a little bit more. So I'm gonna, now that I got it in full working order, I'm gonna go through once again, because I already blew it out with air. But I'm gonna go in there and clean it one more time. Deep cleaning. I'm going to check every little part, make sure everything's working perfect. And then, because the platinum's actually soft, dude. This is like in very good shape. Once I do that to the proper areas, I'll give a very light bit of oil. There's only a couple areas that I really think about. Obviously not in here. That's what people think. They, oh, just oil that. Like, no. There's just a couple little parts that, you know, like where the, I think they call it the dog, or the paw, or some weird thing where the actual mechanism is that allows this to spin. Which you can't quite see, but it's in there. Just to make sure that that's catching properly and doing its job. Now we have ourselves a nice, clean, working typewriter. Another German-made typewriter. This is hopefully the last one, but the cool thing is, as I've been doing this, the more I'm realizing, I think I could be a typewriter repairman, even though that is not needed in this world anymore. It just makes me think, you know, like, I would like to do this as a job, man. I would love to just fucking tinker with these things and try to fix them and get them in working order. And because I love just, I don't like to half-ass it. I want to get in there and do it right. And the first thing I realize is I need better tools. Man, I somehow, is cheap shit, the end of that broke off, and so it's not quite right. So I got to get another one. I don't know how that is. So I kind of marked up some of the, well, I won't show you, but I'll just tell you. Some of the little screws, I kind of marked them up a little bit because that didn't fit flush, and I don't have enough tools. And oh, just interesting, man. Just something I wanted to make a little video about and say, like, man, typewriter repair is kind of a fun gig, man. It's way more interesting than a goddamn car. I like to think, I heard it once said that, like, working on a typewriter is like working on a car before the 40s. And I could see why. Shit, man, like, it's It's just all mechanical. If you can just figure out what the thing does and if it's doing it properly and if it's perfectly aligned or unaligned or if there's a missing spring or if there's gunk in it or something, it's so simple. It's such a simple task. The only personal thing for me that's kind of difficult that I got to figure out how to do as a truck goes by is when you take things apart, trying to find your own system to put it all in a certain area so you remember how to put it back together again. I wanted to take this carriage off, but I told myself, like, I am way too terrified to do that because how will I know how to put it back on again? And it's easy to say how to do that, but everyone has their own system, and you just got to kind of figure out what your way is, and remembering what little tiny screw, because they're fucking miniature, they're tiny. Here's one, and this is a big one that I was using. Sometimes that is life or death. You know what I mean? Like one little tiny screw like that could throw this all fucking off. And so it's like, oh, did you grab the right one? Is that one? Did you put it in the wrong spot when you were putting them in here? Did you mean to put another one in? You know, there's so much of that shit that happens that it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But listen to that machine, man. She is got one last problem. Some fucking person, I'll just say it like that. I don't know what the hell they did, but first of all, they lost this screw in here. That guy, which means, oh, that connects to this side. And look, it just is spinning. Okay, simple fix. Just get a fucking little tiny screw to put inside of there. It'll, this is like a long pole that goes down. It's got a certain notch in it that holds on, that allows that to spin with this. Okay, simple. This was the only screw I could find. It was inside the machine, you know, deep in here. I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the little screw. I put it in there, and no, it's not quite long enough. So I have to figure out a way to make that work. But there's some residue left. They fucking glued this head onto this shaft here. I don't know why, if it was broken, what came off. I'm not really sure, but it is glued on. I don't know how that could hinder me or not. So far, it hasn't hindered me at all. I just got to find a goddamn screw for this. But it's slightly rubbing on this, I don't know, fender frame. I'm not sure, man. The terminology just gets annoying. But you can see something was done makeshift wise. But look at, see, there's the area. You can put it in there and it holds it. This poor machine, man, it's been through it. I'm gonna move that so I don't lose it. This poor machine, like, she has gone through hell and back, but we've got her working in very good order. Just one less problem, and it's honestly, I could work around it. I just can't use that side at all. But I should have recorded what this thing sounded like before, when I just bought it, and when I sat it here, and that fucking grinding sound, dude, was like, oh my god. I don't know if you've ever dealt with something like that, but it hurt just to listen to it, and then, you know, it being stuck and all this stupid shit. But yeah, this is kind of something I like to do with my free time on the side when I'm not writing and I'm kind of working on these things, or on my days off. I try my best to just do something, you know, and this is my favorite thing to do, because every single typewriter I have had a different fucking problem and one that needed solving. This is probably the newest problem I've ever had, but now I know how to work on it, at least for this machine. God knows, you get another one, and it's like, well, that's slightly different. Their screws are not like that, you know. I remember hearing someone say, like, you're kind of on an island when you do typewriter repair. Like, you're going to figure it out by yourself, because there's chances are you're the only person working on that particular problem on this particular machine. You know, and that's pretty wicked to me, you know. The learning behind this is just what someone casually says while they're working on their typewriter. Like, oh, you know, like, just I made sure I use lacquer thinner. And I was like, well, fuck, I got to get that now. you know, and when they talk about flushing things out, when they talk about certain tools they use, workarounds, like Phoenix typewriter, for the bushings in the bottom, he used this. And I wouldn't have known that unless I goddamn randomly watched one of his videos. And working on certain kind of bushings in there, I had to, you know, they don't make any of this stuff anymore, so you have to kind of be inventive with how you fix it. You know, but like, I don't know, man. It's kind of cool to problem solve like that. And this machine's going to be looking really nice if I can figure out how to either get a little screw to go in there, go on that Facebook group and just ask fruitlessly, but we'll see. We'll see. This is just a little update, something that I like doing on the side. Decided to kind of talk about. And man, one of these days I'll show this thing when I'm perfectly cleaned it and it's in pristine shape, shining and glinting in the sun. With our two beautiful German typewriters. This one and the lovely Triumph that we just received. Till next time.